6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey captivated the nation and put her family under the microscope, with many speculating that her father, mother, brother, or all three were involved in her killing.
Four sets of remains. Remember, they were found last fall.
A stunning breakthrough in one of Australia's most infamous unsolved crimes, the Wanda Beach murder.
You fix what's broken when you make that smile. So just stay for a little while. So just stay for a little while.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of It Remains to Be Seen, a show in which we talk about the mysteries that are going on all around us. And oh my gosh, there's some crazy stuff going down with the Gabby Petito case right now. It is absolutely crazy. But before we get into that, over on your left, as always, you have your beautiful hostess, Lori. And over here on the right, you have me, Bob, the blind dude. And
Okay, well then I'll just call you Blind Bob from now on.
I don't know. That doesn't sound as cool. We'll have to figure out. We'll have to figure out a name with that. I don't know. I'm not completely certain on that one yet. But
Sorry, I tried.
no, you're good. You're good. We gotta find something that sounds like really, really cool. You know, like I don't know. It's better than it's better. It's a heck of a lot better than Bob the Blob. I'll definitely take that.
True. That is very true. Yes. I must have been sounding like I was far away. Did I?
No, you were sounding fine.
Really? My
Yeah.
mic was like way the hell over there.
Let's see. We have Susan Brewer says, "Oops, battery going. Got a charge." We'll be looking forward to seeing you back out here,
Can you hear
Susan.
me?
And yes, I can. Sure can.
And do I sound
You sound fine, hon.
okay? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey,
And we
Ladybug.
have Ladybug. It's good to see you all out here. And yeah, the
Okay, wait. Well, hold on a second here. First of all, the people that are in the chat and that are watching, what the hell is going on?
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? So tonight we're going to be discussing the new breaking news on Gabby Petito's case, and oh my gosh, guys, it's just getting crazy. And then tonight, after that, so we want to keep priorities. After that, we want to talk about credibility and trustworthiness on YouTube. I was going to try to do like a written up thing to show on the screen, but yeah, I didn't. So we're going to talk about it because of some things that transpired, especially over yesterday, that were just absolutely ridiculous out in the YouTube ecosystem. But first and foremost, we're going to get to the Gabby Petito case. And so, beautiful, tell us a little bit about the TikTok video, which we're going to share here in a minute.
The TikTok video?
The TikTok video by Miranda Baker.
Oh, so apparently somebody picked Brian up in the, what area was it where they picked him up?
They were out in the Grand Teton area. They were heading
That's
to a place called Jackson Hole, going south. And Mr. Laundrie was out there hitchhiking. And we won't get into the story here because there's no sense in recreating the wheel. I should have brought this up sooner, hun, but I'm going to patch a screen share into you so that you can hear it as well. So just one moment.
I don't know what that means. But
what it means is I'm going to try to, if it lets me, I'm going to try to share my screen to you over here, and then I'm going to bring it up on OBS as well, because when I broadcast it on OBS, you're not able to hear it, and so I want to make sure that you're able to listen in too. So I'm going to screen share here on Skype for you, and just one moment. I'm going to get this, guys. My apologies for taking forever for doing this.
it's probably my fault because
No,
it's him all listening to this news thing.
No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I'm just trying to find the you know what? I'll just I was just trying to find that Chrome window.
It's okay. Just play it. I know the clip here or the thing you're talking about.
Well, here. I'm gonna bring this up for you. Because we got to do this together, you know. Okay.
Oh.
There you go. Do you see it on your screen now?
No, sirree, Bob.
You don't? My goodness. Okay. One last try, and then if it doesn't work, then I'll just. Or wait. Okay, now do you see it?
Yeah. But
Okay.
it's magnified.
Yeah, I'll take care of that. I'm gonna bring up what I have over here in OBS. I'm guessing it wasn't showing it because I wasn't actively on that tab. So sorry, guys out there. It's just it's kind of fun sometimes, like trying to navigate things where you can only see like one line at a time. And okay, so here in just a moment, this should pop up. This is from a channel called Evil Exists. You can find a link to their their page in the description. Wait a minute, what? Okay, yeah, that's there. Okay. So, and okay, so you have it now too, right, hon? Okay, and I have it. Okay, do I have the audio capture on? Because that's the next thing. Sorry, or the audio output. Sorry, guys. I'm not with it tonight, I guess. Okay, yes, that is there. Okay. All right, so here we go. This is about 3 or 4 minutes long. This is a TikTok that was created by a woman named Miranda Baker, and she's going to tell us about an experience that she and her boyfriend had on August 29th. So I guess we better mute and we'll do this.
Hi, my name is Miranda Baker, and on August 29th, my boyfriend and I picked up Brian at Grand Teton National Park at 5:30 at night at Coulter Bay. I'm hoping this can help someone identify him because I saw him from TikTok, which then made me call the authorities, and my boyfriend and I have been in contact with a bunch of different people to help piece together different parts of this case. But we picked him up at Coulter Bay, like I said, at 5:30. He approached us asking us for a ride because he needed to go to Jackson, which we were going to Jackson that night. So I said, hop in. He hopped in the back of my Jeep. We then, proceeded to make small talk. But before he came in the car, he offered to pay us like $200 to give him a ride, like 10 miles. So that was kind of weird. He then told us he's been camping for multiple days without his fiance. He did say he had a fiance, and that she was working on their social media page back at their van. Then once, in conversation, I brought up, we're going to Jackson. He freaked out. He's like, nope, I need to get out right now. Pull over. So we pulled over at the Jackson Dam, which I don't know if you know Teton Park, but it's not very far from Coulter Bay. And if this does reach people, I can post pictures of exactly where we were. We picked him up and the whole route or whatever, and screenshots of the timestamps. We dropped him off at 6:09 p.m. on August 29th. He kind of hurried out of the car, and then he's like, okay, I'm just gonna go find someone else to hitchhike. And we're like, okay. It was a weird situation. So when we picked him up, he was wearing a backpack, he had a long sleeve pants, hiking boots, and he had like scruff, but he didn't look dirty. For someone who was camping for multiple days, like, he didn't look dirty, he didn't smell dirty, so that part was kind of weird. And I'm just really hoping that they find her, and this helps someone, like, remember seeing him, or, you know, something like that. To clarify a few things that people are confused on still, when he asks for a ride, he has to go to Jackson, which, if you're familiar with this area, a lot of people call Jackson Hole Jackson, so that's why I said yes to giving him a ride. But you think any good hiker would know south and north. We were going south out of the park when he said he was camping north. He had told us that him and Gabby were not camping on a regulated campsite through the national park, that they were camping basically out in the middle of nowhere along Snake River. This is key information. He said that he had hiked for days along Snake River, but when, like, looking at his backpack, it wasn't full, and he said all he had was a tarp to sleep on, which, you think if you're going camping for days on end, you'd want food and a tent, and he had none of that. And like I said, he looked clean and didn't smell bad. So this is a view of the whole journey with Brian. So that's the top at the park at Coulter Bay, and then we drove him to this dam right here. Then at the dam, we dropped him off at this little turnout, and he said he was going to walk across the street to the parking lot, which was full of people, to continue hitchhiking and look for a ride, because he freaked out when I said Jackson Hole. He said we needed to pull over, even though Jackson and Jackson Hole are the same thing. It's the same town itself. This is the text I sent to my mom at 6:09, right when he got out of the car, saying I was okay, because she was freaking out. This is at the park, or at the pickup location, and we were taking a shower. We then walked across, and our car was parked on the left side of the picture, and he talked to us like right in the middle. And he was talking to my boyfriend the entire time, but like I was the one actually talking, and he was like not frantic, and he was very nice, very polite to us.
Okay. So there we have it. I'm going to stop the share over here.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to It's a Crime.
Hold on. Sorry, guys. Autoplay. Gotta love it. All right. So where's my window captures at? There we go. Those are off. We are back. And so this is just really, really crazy, interesting stuff. Ladybug put a... Oh, I think you responded to that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see.
So, I want to know what I wrote in chat. How the heck did we go from them knowing where Brian was to him being missing?
I talked with you about this when we were listening to things. And for those who haven't kept up with it, so essentially, this video that you just saw came out this morning, and or was it overnight? I'm not sure. Last night, there, the family, Gabby's family, were interviewed by different news sources. And you could tell that Mr. Petito, his sole focus was his daughter, as it should be. They've been out looking for her, as you've seen in previous shows. They've pleaded with the Laundrie family, to at least tell them if they're looking in the wrong place, just to get, we're going to remain in the background at this juncture. That ticks me off.
But he supposedly had been missing. Now nobody's had contact with him since Tuesday.
I don't know. I just, I don't know what to think on it. But so Lori and I were listening together to both a police scanner over in Northport, as well as a live stream outside of the Laundrie's house, in which a protest was taking place earlier this evening. As this continued to to develop. And so her parents voluntarily requested to speak with the police. They came to the Laundrie home. They went inside. They came back out, and they had brown paper bags. It appeared that one of the officers may have gotten a phone out of the Laundrie's Mustang that was out in the driveway. We don't know whether they were looking for, they were being given evidence, or if they were just getting things from the vehicle because the Laundrie family was afraid to go out to do it themselves with all of the people out there.
Wild Fox, no, they have not found Gabby.
Well, no, unfortunately they haven't. So the protest continued, and Wild Fox, welcome to the channel out here. We appreciate you stopping by, and
do you want to stop sharing to me?
Oh shoot!
Thing?
Sorry. Yeah. Let me Sorry, I totally forgot about that with Skype, but where is it? So basically, as I'm doing this, or trying to do this, basically, it continued on. The protesters were out there. There were a lot of them. Many of them came from. There we go. Many of them were coming from a prayer vigil directly over there to the Laundrie home to protest. And you're welcome, Wild Fox. Very welcome. So they they were out there protesting, and then all of a sudden they came back, and the news reporter had basically said, we have a breaking development. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Okay. And then they came back and they said, we now have news that Brian Laundrie is missing. And then all of a sudden the narrative changed, and then they said, Brian Laundrie, who supposedly came back to his Florida home.
Well, nobody really knew if he was there or not. I think just people assumed he was there.
But my thing is the van. The van was there, and the parents hiring.
Well, it was there back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he had to have been back there on the first, unless somebody else drove the van back there. But but the thing is that they, who knows what the contact was like with the parents, but they immediately had a lawyer, and then all of a sudden, go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I cut you off, but what I wanted to say is like, isn't it funny how now they need help, and now they're cooperating with.
I'm going to give you an opinion, my opinion on the matter, which I already talked with you about this earlier, hon. Is it that they need help, or and this is speculative, guys, so just don't take this as fact. This is just my frame of thinking. Could it be because this family from the get-go seemed to do everything they could to protect their son? Could it be that they got him a ticket and got him out of the country? Like, should they be checking airport records and things like that?
I don't know, but Salty says, check out All Trails app, Gabby's last location, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico? Brian shows he is in Northport still.
Puerto Rico?
Check out All Trails app. Oh, I guess that's where it's showing that these people are. So Gabby apparently is in Puerto Rico, and Brian apparently shows he's still in Northport.
Yeah. That's what I want to know. How does his lawyer keep track of him as a person of interest? That's a really good question there. It's a really good question. As far as the earlier question that you had, Ladybug, was, did the lawyer do something illegal? Basically, since he was a person of interest and not a suspect, from what little I understand of it, and I could be mistaken, and there's somebody who's more experienced in law, he still had the right to not speak. I commend the protesters because they were also exercising their right, and that's something that I was very happy to see, that so many people came out in support there. But basically, basically, since he wasn't considered a suspect and was only a person of interest, they didn't have any warrants or anything that could cause him to talk. Evidently, it was also reported that, at least in Florida, he could not be charged for taking Gabby's van. So, let's see. Salty says current location, rather, that's Puerto Rico. Says also he downloaded maps Tuesday for Teton, Wyoming. Ladybug says they usually say don't leave town. Yeah, usually they will keep them in town.
I thought that's if you're a suspect.
That could be. Unfortunately, I'm definitely not one to talk in that area, but to me, his disappearance just seems suspicious. Like, seriously, my first thought, my opinion was they should check the airport records. The parents probably, just like they paid for a lawyer for him immediately, maybe they paid for a ticket to get him out of jurisdiction and hide him somewhere. I don't know. That's just my frame of mind. So that's what has developed in the case thus far. It's messed up. It's messed up. Like, where the heck is she? Is she okay? I know to some I probably sound very insensitive when it comes to Brian, but he's the one that came back without her van. He's the one who wasn't saying anything, and now, boom, he's gone. When all of this is going on, the protesters are out there. Where it was the family afraid he was going to crack and say something? They seem to be very protective and inconsiderate when it comes to the Petito family, Gabby's family, and their feelings on the matter. They're not sharing anything. It seemed to me that what I heard from his sister wasn't helpful, unless anybody heard otherwise on the Good Morning America interview and things.
No, she said she hadn't had contact with Brian since before the first or something.
Let's see. Ladybug says, would love to know if Brian has a car or gun, cell phone pings last location, and he may have ditched his phone. No car to follow. Salty says anyone can look this up on All Trail under Follow Connect tab. I'm gonna have to check that out. Just don't mind me, guys, while I'm.
I don't know what he's talking about. That's not.
What's that?
You can't.
Do what, hon?
You can't.
He said All Trail. I'm just gonna see if I can type this up without messing it up. I had never heard of that before. So, oh my gosh.
I think if it was that easy, Salty, I think that they would pretty much know where she's at then, right?
It's hard to tell unless like, oh man, I don't know. My mind's just going all over the place like this. Like, if it shows that her last location was in Puerto Rico, like, what if he has her phone and he's in Puerto Rico? I mean, like, I don't know. Okay, here's the All Trails app. Let me see here. I'm gonna install that. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is. And law enforcement's kind of getting snippy, and her father is getting snippy, and everybody's kind of like at the end of the rope.
Yeah.
And
the parents are just, kind of remaining in the background.
oh, I can guarantee that there's going to be some information passed along between the parents and um, law enforcement.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to want law enforcement's help, I would make sure there's a price.
Let's see here.
Say what you know.
No kidding.
We'll help you if you help us.
Okay. I'm bringing this up on my phone, but it's just going to take me a while to figure this out. But okay. Gotta allow all the notifications, sell your soul away to the company. Okay, so checking here.
Holy crap, it's cold where I'm at. It's like only 7 degrees Celsius here. Like, what the hell? And it's raining. I know, right? I feel like I could just go to bed and just cuddle up into blankets and everything else. Oh, so just anybody's blah, 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 blah. English is not my first language most days. I was going to say, thank you for all the people who have subscribed, and thank you to people that subscribe in the future. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. And then let's talk about, okay, here's the thing. There's a lot of crazy crap going on in the world.
Oh my gosh, isn't that the case?
There's a lot. So I was hoping that if I had a show in the morning, and we still do the night show, people would be interested in watching. It'd be like a recap of the night.
I think that's a good idea because there's definitely news going around the clock. Unfortunately, I'm not. I'll have to check this app out a bit further down the road and maybe take a look at it with my screen reader because I'm not seeing everything that. Salty said that it gave the FBI the info. That's good. Definitely. I'll definitely check more into that as well. Now with that, there isn't a whole lot more that we can discuss on that case because that's the latest that we have. Well,
so I do want to talk about why the hell Buddy apparently, okay, so he was hitchhiking.
Yes.
I assume he discovered he was heading the wrong direction.
Sounds like he wanted to go north instead of south.
Yeah, so he was like, but he wanted to go to Jackson.
Yeah, it sounds like his sense of direction was messed up. I don't know.
Anyways, so anyhow, he does that. He goes and gets in the car, and then he goes across the street to catch a hitchhiker heading the other direction. It'll be interesting to hear if another person comes out to say what happened during that hitchhiking experience and how far they took him or where they took him or anything like that. But now I find it very, very confusing because now we're sitting there like, okay, so we are looking for Gabby, and it kind of irks me because it seems like the focus has now gone to Brian. And, even before Brian went missing, the focus was kind of on Brian because he wasn't talking.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, it's been about Brian. And I can understand her parents getting pissed off, and I can understand law enforcement and everything else, because that's got to be a
Oh
frustrating
my gosh,
situation. You know, you want to look for somebody, but you can't because nobody is telling you where anything is. And now he's missing. Like, he could be, like, literally anywhere. And if he, say, did do something to Gabby, he's going to just run even harder. Like, the thing is that the family led law enforcement to believe that he was somewhere he wasn't.
Exactly.
And even though they weren't, they didn't have to say where he, like, they didn't have to keep the tabs on him. I'm thinking they probably should have, so we wouldn't be in this situation. Because I think with Brian being gone now, and you know he's not running. I mean, he's obviously running, but not running. I don't think he's, like, on the run. I think he ran, went somewhere, and did something to himself. And sadly, with that happening, if it does come out that that's what happened, sadly, people may never find Gabby. Unless he told somebody. Which apparently somebody said that he said to his friend or something like that. And she was down a mine shaft or something. I'm not sure how much credit there is to
Yeah,
that.
unless there's anything documented or anything that's been reported, it essentially it's just hearsay. I mean, and not just in cases like this, but in family law cases and in other cases, unless there's documented evidence of something, then it generally is perceived as hearsay, and it can't be taken as entirely credible unless there's like some backing evidence.
I think, like, okay, so basically, here, I'll put my head someplace. Okay, those are the faces of the two people right there. Gabby Petito and Brian
Where?
Laundrie. They're both
Are you talking about on your background? Okay.
behind my head. Yeah. They're both missing now. Gabby's been missing now since, well, she's probably been missing 3 weeks for sure now. Brian has apparently been missing since Tuesday, I believe I heard. He was also a person of interest in Gabby's disappearance. It's kind of messed up because, of course, something messed up happens to people that end up running away or something. The whole time he's been nothing but a coward. But now I'm starting to wonder if that's even the case, because the whole time we thought he was probably somewhere he wasn't.
I don't even know what to think of it. I just,
I think law enforcement has to start charging people for messing with shit.
The problem is that being that she's missing, and they, okay, so when you look at the Tristan Bailey case, for instance, in the beginning she was missing, but then her body was found. Okay. Now, when her body was found, then they knew that Aiden Fucci was the last person who was known to be seen with her, and because of that, that changes things up. If she would have just been missing and not found, I think that's one level to it. But upon finding a body, then anybody who was last seen with that individual, it takes it to a different level. If my thinking is correct, and so I mean, I don't know that information that Salty gave, and and reported to the FBI, that can put a whole new angle into things. I mean, it can really create a whole different angle. Like as soon as I saw Salty's comment, my first thought was, what was Brian really doing when he was back in Florida between the 17th and 23rd of August?
Well, regardless of what Salty said, I want to know what the hell he was doing during that time.
Agreed. It's
and how he had $200 to give the people that were taking him.
Right.
Like,
I just
don't. I don't know. I have no idea. It's I'm glad we got, like, we started this case when it was relatively new to the like, social media and stuff, because we kind of started at the beginning, so we were able to kind of be like, oh yeah, okay, so we kind of know what's going on now. Whereas with the Summer Wells case, we walked into it on the 1st of September basically, and she had already been missing for how long, and we were kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? And then it was just a lot of overwhelming information. It was like, holy crap, this is like a lot of information, and this is like a circus. What the heck's going on? And the reason why I bring that up is because I do think that we want to say something about something that happened last night.
Go ahead. Sorry, I got lost. I was reading a comment down there.
I said you wanted to talk about something that happened last night.
The only thing about last night was, that, I mean, just the family making the plea. I mean, the...
Oh, no. About,
with the, with the other YouTubers. I just want to address this comment really quick.
Yeah, wait, hold on a second before you address the comment. Did you hear anything?
Yeah, you were saying about last night. You were referring to the situation with No Thanks Investigates?
Yes, but did you hear what I was saying?
Which part? Because which part?
What I was saying. The whole thing that I was saying, but that's okay. I was just saying that we jumped into the...
Oh yeah, we jumped in the middle, and then with Gabby's case, we had jumped in the beginning, which that helps us because we can provide information to people as it comes through. And the thing is that just in a respectful addressing to the comment out there, no, we're not experienced in the law field, but we do our best to provide accurate information that comes from the different news sources out here. And if something is alleged, we make sure to state that it's alleged. If something is an opinion, we make sure to state it's an opinion so as to not be misleading out here. And that's one of the things about YouTube. I mean, we have been emotionally involved in these cases. And that's the difference. I mean, whether you have experience in law or not, it doesn't prohibit you from providing information that has come out from the news sources. And that's just my opinion on it. If you have a difference in opinion, that's okay, but we're not out here to argue. But we appreciate you coming out to the channel.
Okay, hold on a second. So according to this timeline of Gabby's, the 14th, police visited Brian's home and they had no contact. 14th was 3 days ago. 3 days ago was Tuesday. Was it not? Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Yeah, 3 days. Maybe the parents were in cahoots and helped hide him.
Well, the thing is as the news reported, they immediately hired a lawyer when he got back there, and they weren't even willing to help out Gabby's family and letting them know if they were searching in the wrong place, which just doesn't set well.
And we did know, Lisa, that happened because that was mentioned from law enforcement.
Right. We're not out here trying to spread rumors, and if something is a personal opinion or a thought, we make sure to share that. But even some of the news sources create other angles as well. There was an attempt to connect the 2 murders in Moab by one of the mainstream media sources. However, when things like that come up, we make sure to note that it's either allegation or opinion or speculation, because we want to make sure that accurate information is, conveyed as accurate information, and anything that isn't is also conveyed as, speculation or opinion.
And I don't think at any point in time that we ever said anything that we're saying was fact.
Other than the media sources and what's come out.
Except for the stuff that is actually true.
Precisely. So, differences of opinion, and that's okay. You know, people can have differences of opinion and still agree on multiple other things. And that's what, the proper way of being an adult.
Okay, so now on to the no
Yes.
investigate.
Okay. Would you like to start on that, or?
Okay, all I gotta say to start that off is, oh my God, what the hell? There's people threatening to kick people's asses. There's people threatening to do this and that and whatever, and $10,000 things on it. And these are all people that report and do shows like these on
Yes.
YouTube. These are all people who are supposed to be having the best interests of Summer. They be number one in what they're doing when they come out here and they talk every day. But they're acting like complete lunatics live. And it's not just no thanks investigates. I'm not saying that. I actually kind of felt bad.
So did I.
I'm talking more about the other side, the other group that kind of is all group and all this other kind of stuff. And again, Lisa, this is stuff that has happened online that I've seen with my own eyes and heard with my own ears. Now, and there's also copies of it if you'd like one. Shit, what did I say?
You were saying that there were copies of it. You were talking about what was happening last night. Can I just interject really quick here on this? Okay. What we want to get at here is, unlike other channels, we are not going to bash, but we are going to state observations. And, even with us, you've got to look out and determine which channels are going to be trustworthy and more credible when it comes to getting your information. And this situation last night happened between Benny, I think it's Blood Money Benny Keys is the name of his channel. Just personal opinion. That name doesn't set very well with me, but that's just me. But he had put a post out there and read what was supposedly a letter from Don Wells to No Thanks Investigates. And I guess through the course of all of this, they were making statements about Doug, who runs No Thanks Investigates. See, I get that twisted up. And talking about his deceased mother and other things like that. But then there was a live stream that Doug did over on No Thanks Investigates. Man, I don't know why I can't fully say that name. It just anyways. Essentially what had happened was that Benny Keys had contacted the authorities in Doug's area and said something to the effect of that they needed a well check to be done on him because that Doug was threatening suicide. Doug called their numbers and confronted them, and they said, "Dude, are you okay?" Because it was being streamed live. "Dude, are you okay? You were telling us that you're going to kill yourself and this and that." Trying to make it out that, they cared, even though, a lot of time was spent yesterday bashing and so on and so forth. I don't like to get into that kind of thing where there's all the bashing and the arguing and things like that.
I think it's still going on, considering the title of his live right now is Friday Night SmackDown.
Who's live?
No.
Gotcha. There was a comment on one of our videos that basically had stated that Benny Keys is very unstable and that he has literally called the workplaces of individuals who he had conflict with and tried to stir up trouble with them. Now, to me, personally, guys, I mean, and if your opinion is different, that is totally okay. To me personally, that takes credibility away. Voices behind the wall is another, and who knows? Maybe we'll be up there on her community thing at some point as well. But it seems that when there's some sort of discrepancy, a person is dragged out into the middle of a firing squad, and her platform is being used to put their names up on community posts and just totally annihilate them. And then she will do a live stream. From what I've seen, it just seems to be a pattern. Stuff like that. It just, from what I see, it's an individual who wants to be at the center of drama. And my gosh, I know I don't want that crap in my life. But for me, it has thrown any sense of credibility out. And so, just a few things to look for in YouTube channels who are reporting information. Number one, do they have sources for the information that they're providing? That is a given. Number two, if there are allegations or opinions or speculations, are those being stated as such, or are they being presented as facts? Because that's where a bunch of crap gets messed up. Because the rumor mills will start and things will be stated, and they're not distinguished as speculations or opinions or allegations. They're just thrown in there with a lump to make it appear as though everything's just one big picture. And it's very important that facts are distinguished as facts, and that the supporting documents or videos or whatever the case may be are there. And then anything that is not is stated as such clearly, so that the viewers know what's a rumor and what isn't. And so it's really important to just analyze those things. I mean, another thing is how involved are they with drama? And for me, like I was telling Lori yesterday when I was watching No Thanks Investigates. I actually got it that time. At first I wasn't sure what to think because of all the trash talking. I mean, it made me think of like a WWE thing, right? But listening to Doug's voice, it sounded sincere. It sounded like he was legitimately emotionally involved in the case. But like I was telling Lori again, he's from Los Angeles. Several people who I have met from the Los Angeles area, and they're tough. They carry themselves as tough. I personally don't like the trash talking thing. But with Benny Key's behavior and the way that he seems to be very vindictive and tries to make life miserable for people, it was also said in No Thanks Investigates live stream last night that Benny Keys and his friend Mike, I believe it was, they went so far as to call Doug's 70-year-old father and say that Doug was saying he was going to kill himself. Is that somebody who you can get trustworthy information from? In my humble opinion, no.
Well, Voices Behind the Wall pretty much said tonight that, because somebody had made a comment, I think, about this should be about summer or something. And she's like, do you see Summer's name? Like, this is like not word for word, but do you see Summer's name in the title of the thing or whatever? Because it had Dawn's name, not Summer's name. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, in my head, like, okay, so you're putting Dawn Wells in your title, and you're using the fact Summer's name isn't there as a thing, so you don't get shit for using drama to help look for a 5-year-old little girl, but not realizing that if it wasn't for Summer, she wouldn't even be talking to Dawn. So I just think some weird shit's going on with that whole thing. I said it last night and I stand by it today. Something is weird. Like, I don't know. We just walk into this shit.
I agree.
Something's going on.
Definitely learning a lot about the true crime community and in our short experience thus far, and learning that just like everywhere else, there, it's best to, I mean, it's okay to have acquaintances, but be very careful with them, because there are some really harsh people out in this community just as well as there are in others. And there are people who will troll you for just about anything. I mean, in one group, I had made a typo in the title, right? Now, anybody who knows me knows that I try to be grammatically correct in my writing, but, I wasn't using...
Anybody who knows me knows that I don't really give a rip about mine.
And
I cuss a lot.
But you're you, and that's okay. You're you, and I'm me. But there was a bunch of crap going on about the misspelling of a word, and in the process of that, some of the people who were making the comments were misspelling words. It happens. We all, just about all of us, make typographical errors. But anywhere that there are people involved, there are people who are safe and there are people who are not so safe. And the same goes for credibility. The same goes for authenticity. And it's a learning process. It's really a learning process. And
it really truly is. Well, so there you have it. Brian Laundrie is missing. Gabby still hasn't been found. And the crazy situation revolving around Summer Wells gets crazier and crazier by the day. Not just by the family of Summer Wells, but by the creators of YouTube.
YouTube creators. Yeah,
YouTube
you got
creators.
it. You got it.
That's what I meant to say. But yeah, anyway, because they got to blow it up and make it about them. So, I mean, keep your eyes peeled for that beautiful little girl, Summer, and pray for her safe return.
Same goes with Michael Vaughn, the 5-year-old, who, if you saw the intro, you saw some pictures of him as well. He's been missing since July 27th. And then you have Gabby. Just please keep them in your thoughts and in your prayers. All we can do is hope for a safe return. Or I don't ever like the thought of someone in a case like this turning up, deceased. But unfortunately, that happens. And I guess my hope for the families involved is, and those who love those individuals, is some sense of closure, so that they can, so at least they know. Living a life in situations like that without closure, it's very difficult emotionally, and it really does take a toll. And
now I don't think there's going to be a lot of people out there saying they, probably are really pissed off at Brian right now.
Oh yes,
and probably don't really want him to return safely back. However, remember, when you think negatively about him, he knows where he knows where Gabby is. At least he knows where he saw her last. He could give somebody a clue as to where she could be. The vicinity, anything. But he does have information, so we kind of need
Yep.
him come back safely so that we can get the information he has and find Gabby, so that her family can either be reunited with her or at least have closure.
I'm not wishing ill on anybody, but for any of the wrongdoers in any of these cases, I do hope that they are found out and that justice is properly and rightfully served.
And I really pray to God that he doesn't do the coward thing and eliminate himself.
Agreed.
Because that's a definite possibility as well. So, I mean, and then nobody would know. And then what? Gabby just becomes like another statistic of cold cases and shit. So
I certainly hope not.
But on that note, I can't tell you for sure if I'll be on tomorrow morning or not. I'm not 100% certain. I want to have an intro for it, so I guess if I can whip something up here tonight, maybe. But anyhow, if not tomorrow morning, the next morning, I figured about 10 a.m. would be a good time, Pacific. I will do my morning show, and I might get it done tomorrow. We'll see. We'll hopefully pop on and get that all figured out then. But until then, I don't have anything else to say. I just pray all these people come back home, and what will be after that happens.
Completely agree with you on that. And I think that's all that we have for this evening then.
And again, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit the like button and all that other stuff. It definitely does help. And if you have an idea of a case that you'd like us to talk about, please do let us know, because we would love to hear from you guys about your guys' ideas on things that you want to hear about, not stuff that we're pretty much forcing you to hear.
Yep. And lastly, I'll say, guys, for those who watch and those who are subscribed, you are very greatly appreciated. And on top of that, if your opinions or thoughts are different than ours, that's okay. You don't have to think like us, and we can all discuss things in a civil manner, and we appreciate the ability to do that, and appreciate the ability to see, not the ability, but the opportunity to, see things from a different perspective. And, that's just one fragment of common decency that we can exercise toward one another. And, what was it? Christina Randall on her channel, she just talks about being kind wherever you are, but especially in the comments section and things like that. I totally agree with that. Kindness can be exercised, and some people choose not to. That's their prerogative. But for those who do, it's really appreciated. And we appreciate each and every one of you who come out and take time out of your day to watch out here and to interact with us. And it does mean a lot to us.
It definitely does.
So, with that, I guess we'll wrap it up, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. Well, wherever you are viewing from, you have yourselves a good morning, noon, or night. And bye for now, guys.
Bye.